Hi, scholars. Today, Mrs. Chin is going to read you a story about animal habitats. And when we read the story today, it's going to help us understand a little bit more about what kind of animals can live in different habitats around our world. So, as we read, I want you to listen to think of the animals that live there because you're going to identify them in Seesaw. All right? So, let's go ahead and get started. Animal habitats. This book is on Epic, so if you really enjoyed it today, you're welcome to sign on your account to read the story. All right, so what is a habitat? An animal's habitat is its home. A habitat contains all things an animal needs to survive. Animal needs food, water, and shelter to survive. Animals depend on other animals, plants, and their environment to live. This is called an ecosystem. So here we have an ecosystem here, right? The fish need to survive by eating little shrimps, and then the turtle will survive by eating the fish. And so it all kind of relates to one another. Desert habitats, number one, our first one. Many different animals make their habitats in the desert. A desert is a dry region with extreme temperatures and very little rain. Rattlesnakes hide in rocky crevices to stay cool. These are known as snake dens. Cactus wrens make their nests inside cactuses. The prickly cactus's spines protect the nests from predators. Cactuses store water in their stems. Many desert animals rely on cactuses for their water supply. Desert plants and animals must adapt to harsh environment. Scorpions have adapted to living in hot deserts by being nocturnal. All right, scholars, so we just finished that section on the desert habitat. So I want you to think and identify some animals that you learned that live here. Habitat number 2. Arctic habitats. Not all deserts are hot. The Arctic is a cold and icy desert. It is located around the North Pole. Polar bears hunt and eat seals. Female polar bears make dens in the snow to give birth to cubs. Beluga whales live in the Arctic Ocean. They can survive the ocean's freezing temperatures because they have a thick layer of blubber. Arctic plants and animals must adapt to harsh environment. In winter, the Arctic fox has white fur that blends in with the snow. In summer, it sheds its white coat for brown fur. This allows it to stay camouflaged as the snow melts. So we just finished Arctic. Now think about some animals that lived in the Arctic. Okay, habitat number 3, woodland habitats. Woodland habitats are filled with trees and plants. Trees and plants can provide food and shelter. Squirrels build nests in the woodland trees. They eat nuts, fruits, and seeds. Raccoons make their dens in hollow trees or brush piles. Great horned owls hunt many different animals, including raccoons and squirrels. Many animals use trees and plants to hide from predators. Young deers, called fawns, their white spots help them blend in with the woodland plants. So that was the last habitat we just learned. I want you to identify some animals that live there. Okay, now for our next one is the rainforest habitat. Tropical rainforests are warm and wet. Thousands of different kinds of plants and animals live in rainforests. Poison dart frogs come in many different colors. Their bright colors warn other rainforest predators to stay away. Toucans nest in tree holes. They use their large, colorful beaks to reach fruit. Golden lion tamarins are as small as squirrels. They live in the subcanopy of the rainforest. They eat lizards, fruits, insects, and birds. Many rainforest animals lose their habitats because of deforestation. Blue morpho butterflies are one of the animal species becoming endangered because of deforestation. So, what that means, scholars, is people are coming into areas of the rainforest and they're chopping trees down and taking the land. And so lots of animals that live in the rainforest are forced to find homes somewhere else. And so therefore they have nowhere to live. This is kind of very similar to the pandas that we read last week in Panda Kindergarten. So our next habitat is freshwater habitat. So I want you to think of some animals that lived in the rainforest. Most of the earth is covered in water, but only 1% of it is freshwater. Freshwater habitats include ponds, lakes, rivers, and streams. Bluegills live in ponds, lakes, and slow-moving streams. Male bluegills build nests for the female bluegill eggs. Freshwater turtles climb onto rocks or logs to warm themselves in the sun. Egrets nest in trees near water and gather in groups called colonies. They eat fish, frog, mice, and other small animals. Some freshwater habitats are harmed by pollution. Frogs and toads cannot live in polluted places. Healthy frogs indicate a healthy habitat. So, pollution, again, is like what we talked about with Mrs. D last week, is when we're putting our trash into habitats of animals and then it makes it so dirty and dangerous for them that they can't live in it anymore. So, now, scholars, I want you to think of some animals that you can identify from the freshwater habitat and our ocean habitat. About 70% of Earth's surface is covered in ocean water. Ocean water is salty. The killer whale, also known as the orca, lives in every ocean around the world but is most common in Arctic and Antarctic waters. The octopus is recognized by its 8 tentacles. Octopuses can change the color of their skin to blend in with their habitat. Wow, I didn't know that. Very cool. Stingrays are fish. They prefer shallow, near-shore waters in warm parts of the world. They spend most of their time lying particularly buried on the ocean floor, hiding from predators. Coral reefs are warm, shallow ocean habitats. Many ocean animals make their home in a coral reef. Seahorses use their tails to anchor themselves to seagrasses and corals. So now, scholars, for fun, if you were to read this book on Epic Online, you can go back and on the animals in the circles, you can click on them to learn about them a little bit more. But here's a little game that you can do. So you could drag the animals to where they live. So where would the egret live? Okay, I think I remember from the story that the egret lives in fresh water. What about a scorpion? Yes, you are correct. A scorpion lives in the desert. And the orca whale, ocean, correct. How about the tree frog? Rainforest, very nice. And how about a polar bear? Oh, you are correct. It's the Arctic. And last, we have our little squirrel, and that is the woodland. Awesome, scholars. So now I hope you enjoyed the story today and you learned a little bit more about these 6 different habitats. So when you go to Seesaw today, I want you to name 2 or 3 animals maybe that live in each of these 6 habitats. All right? So thanks for listening.